We're into the last days of October here in Chicago, and daylight is fading fast. Daylight savings time will rob us of another hour, meaning that on November 1, sunset will be at 4:45 p.m. What a ripoff. So it's more important now than ever to make sure that if you are riding a bike at night in Chicago, that you are equipped to be seen. Despite how it might feel at times, the vast majority of drivers do not want to get into a crash with you when you're riding your bike. So if you make it easy for them to see you, it will be easier for them to avoid doing that. But it's also almost impossible to overstate just how invisible you really are when riding a bike at night without quality lights. See for yourself if you can pick out the cyclists in these shots. It's really hard. I shot these scenes from the dash of a typical car with a not perfectly clean windshield or rearview mirrors in a number of locations around Chicago. As you can see, in addition to all the visual noise and competing light sources making it hard to see cyclists, drivers are also contending with poor sight lines, blind spots, glare from dirty windshields, and distractions inside the car, all of which you have to compete with to be visible. Also, as a cyclist, you're one of the smallest things on the road, so it's easy for you to be obscured from a driver's vision by other vehicles, so you really need to stand out at night in order to be seen. So how do you do that? The best way is with bright, high-quality lights. The law in Illinois and in most states actually require you to have at least a white front light that's visible from 500 feet and a red rear reflector, but really you should add a red light to the rear as well. With recent advances in LED technology and lithium-ion batteries, there's tons of options available. To keep things simple in this video, I'm going to focus on lights that are removable, battery-operated, in one piece. When choosing a light, there are 4 things to consider: brightness, power source, construction, and price. This video is a production of the Active Transportation Alliance. We're a nonprofit, member-supported advocacy organization based here in Chicago, and we basically work to just improve conditions for people who walk, bike, and take transit. So if you're interested in learning more about us, you can go to the link here, or if you would like to join as a member or make a donation, you can do that up here. Brightness. Brightness these days is measured in something called lumens. The more lumens, the brighter the light. In a city like Chicago, I would recommend at least a 100 lumen light, but really 200 to 300 if you can afford it. The light we'll be using as an example later is 220 lumens. Power source. Your choice here really is between disposable batteries or lights with a built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery. I really recommend going for the rechargeable lithium-ion batteries for a few reasons. They're easier to recharge, as most of them use USB cables now. They don't incur the ongoing expense of buying replacement batteries every few days. You're way less likely to be on the road with a dead light because you didn't get around to going to the store to buy replacement batteries. And lastly, and probably my favorite thing about these lights, is that they have integrated circuitry that manages the battery so that the light stays at a constant level of brightness for the duration of the charge and then just shuts off. And it gives you about a 20 to 30 minute warning before that happens, as opposed to lights that are powered by conventional batteries that just get dimmer and dimmer as the battery gets weaker, resulting in people riding around with lights that are technically on but are barely visible. If you go online, you can find some really bright, really cheap lights. However, they're also very generic. They come directly from overseas and don't have warranties and don't hold up for very long, in my experience. I'd really recommend making a purchase through a local bike shop. Stop in to see what they have, try a few different models out before purchasing, and look for things like ease of use. Is the mount easy to attach? Will it fit your bike? Is the light easy to clip on and off? If you dropped it, and you will, do you think it would survive? And finally, price. Everybody's working with a different budget, but buy the brightest light you can afford. That said, expect to spend about $35 for a 100 lumen light and about $20 for a decent rear light. That might sound like a lot of money to put up front, but if it's the difference between getting home safe and making an unplanned detour to the ER, it really is a bargain. So to wrap up, let's contrast some new shots of cyclists riding with quality lights against those that we shot earlier. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to click the thumbs up button below. You can also subscribe for more videos like it, as well as like Active Trans on Facebook or follow us on Twitter.